All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the Badlands podcast. Here with the Backcountry four-wheel drive guys, or a few of you. There's quite a few.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah, we're missing quite a few, but
Yeah, how many guys you got?
In the group chat, there's in the mid-70s, mid to the low 70s.
Dang. So we've got Denniston, which you're kind of the forefather of this, correct?
Yeah, I'm the one who started it and then brought everybody together, and it's grown
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
he's the big dog. He kind of was the ringleader, as one of our other guys calls him. He kind of brought everyone together. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
And then so we've got Tanner over there, and Nick. And so I guess let's start out with you. So what kind of rigs we running here?
I have 2015 4Runner. It's fairly stock. My big thing is it doesn't cost $1 million to go out and go off-roading. I'm just running Bilstein 5100s. I do have 37s on it. I've beat the hell out of the firewall to make them somewhat fit. Still rub a little bit. But I've taken that thing all over the West Coast. So that's the 4Runner. And then I have a 1981 Toyota pickup. It's on Yoda axles, chromoly shafts, twin transfer cases, still in the 22R. What else? We got 37s on that, spooled in the rear, grizzly up front, and that thing just goes. That's a fun little rig.
Unless you want to turn it in the rocks with that grizzly.
Yeah,
doesn't love it?
No, it doesn't like that, and it's kind of gutless. It goes on the rocks. It doesn't really go very fast.
Yeah, but you were telling me yesterday you've got the answer for that, right? Little
Yeah.
motor swap?
Yeah, I did pick up a 1UZ recently.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Right on.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And then Tanner, what do you got?
I got a 2014 Toyota Tundra, and then 90 or 86 Samurai.
Okay.
So it's on Toyota axles, 37s, spool in the front. I think it's welded in the rear. YJ kit. It's broken right now. Broke a leaf spring probably a month or so ago, but yeah.
Yeah? Well,
Yeah, she's a rig. She
dude,
gets
that's
around.
that's a one-day fix. You got to get that thing going
I
again.
know. I got to figure out what leaf spring it is.
Okay.
I got to pull it out.
Got it.
Get her done. You know.
Is
What
that
do you-
like a trail gear? Like doesn't trail gear have stuff for Samurais?
Yeah, usually it's like YJ
Yeah.
stuff. I got to figure it out. It's a weird kit. I bought it off a guy out in Nevada. And it's like 100 different colors,
Yeah.
100 different Samurais put together, it seems like.
It's like a Franken Samurai.
Little bit.
Yeah,
It's got a
right on.
1.6 from a Sidekick, a 1.6 in transmission as well, and then 6.4 to 1 transfer case. So I think it gets to about 130 to 1 in
Okay.
gear ratios.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
thing's going anywhere, and then it's like the size of a shoebox. So
Exactly. It's a fun little rig
yeah,
for sure.
right on.
So
Little
the main
unstable.
reason it broke was all the axle wrap, right?
Yeah. So it's got a
So we
ton
got to
of
figure
axle
something
wrap.
out with your axle wrap.
Usually guys leave overload leaves in there, from what
Okay.
I hear. But
So they kind of slap back and
yeah.
help mitigate that.
Right on. All right. Well, Nick, we're in your garage. Thank you for hosting this.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Simon Garage. So I don't have a solid axle rig. Don't make fun of me. I'm working on it. But
Yeah, it's right behind you.
yeah, step 1 is behind me. There was step 2, but I sold it. But anyways, I've got a 2008 GMC Canyon, 3.7 liter 5-cylinder. It's got Hummer suspension. Everything underneath the frame is from a Hummer H3. So the front diff, the rear axle, the control arms and spindles and brakes and everything. And I pulled it out of a Hummer with the Adventure package. So it's got Eaton E-lockers front and back, 456 gears. So it's pretty sweet. They'll
Yeah.
send shocks. For independent suspension, it works pretty good. It's a good time. Gets me where I want to go with these guys. So
Gets him further most of the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's good enough to get me in trouble. So
Well,
yeah,
I
I just
appreciate
put some.
you didn't leave the sliders and the steps on like the Hummers come. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Those came off a long time ago, and then I welded some sliders on and bent them about 2 months ago. So we gotta do some rework there. But
The
Like-
best part was he was wanting some 12.5 tires, and he accidentally ended up with some 13.5
Yeah.
wide tires on 37 or 35.
35, yeah. So the 35 by 13 and a half, they're wide. They actually measure like 14 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
max tires are...
everybody asks like, what size are those? Like, no way you put 37s on a Canyon. And I'm like, nah, they're just 35s, but they look bigger
They
being
look
wide.
big, yeah.
I keep saying pizza cutters are so last year. So I like the wide tires. Get wide tires.
Yeah. No,
Anyways,
for sure.
That is not what you
my
said.
other rig is a 1986 Isuzu Trooper turbo diesel. It's currently broken a little bit, but it's a fun rig.
Yeah. It's there-ish.
Yeah, you might be able to see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
It's a good little rig.
But so the plan is to put the solid axles under that thing?
No,
You're gonna solid
everybody,
axle that.
dude, everybody keeps saying
You
to
should tell
put
them
the
a story
axles-
about where your
Yeah.
axles are going.
So, yeah, so behind me, you might be able to see it, is a Sterling 10.5. I had a front axle too, but turns out it was a Dana 50, so I sold it. But I've got there is a 1976 Toyota pickup, short box, mustard yellow, sitting in a field in South Dakota, and one of these days of the summer, I'm gonna go pick it up and put some 1-tons under it.
Oh,
So,
hell yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're planning on a
So-
454 too, right?
I don't know
anchor?
about a 454. I was thinking about it. There's a couple sitting around out there I could grab, but probably a 350 and do some kind of cheap doubler setup. And
So these
I don't
Toyota
know.
guys are like rubbing off on you or what?
they
You just-
are. Yeah. They took me crawling a couple times, and my neighbor's got a buggy that I rode along with a few times, and I've got the bug. So we're building a crawler.
There you go. Nice. And with the Trooper, are you just gonna just
Daily driver.
daily?
Back
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good daily. It gets good fuel mileage with the diesel, and it sounds cool.
I was gonna ask. So out here in Idaho, with the wide tires, like the Canyon's got, is that like an issue with the cops as far as
it's
no
becoming
flags?
more and more of an issue.
Yeah.
But if you just stay out of downtown Boise, you'll be all right.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
it sounds like people have only had problems in downtown and very sporadically.
Yeah.
So I think we know like 2 guys that have gotten tickets for it.
It might be how your rig looks.
So then you just borrow like your buddy's pizza cutters and throw them on there, or what?
I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna work for
I
you.
haven't had a problem yet.
Yeah,
so.
knock on wood.
I
So-
think they got
So you guys all got these things here.
Yeah, we
This-
can't leave the mower out of the
Yeah.
conversation. We got
Yeah, I guess
talk about that.
the third rig that I have is this unknown model year Craftsman 2 that it's got 22-inch ATV tires, 6-speed transaxle swap, but 6th gear is blown up. Stickers, homemade paint job. Call her the orange peel
Yeah.
because of the paint job, and it's orange.
It even
Put a
has
winch on it
Sears on the dash here.
Yeah, yep. Good old Sears, rest in peace. And,
This thing is the Lost 500 champion. Though.
Yeah, so we did a lawnmower race in January, and this was the only mower that survived. So-
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Mine crossed the finish line, but it was getting towed behind another vehicle.
Yeah.
I wasn't first. Well, me and Nick were kind of neck and neck for most of the race, and then I kind of pulled ahead, and then blew a tie rod and was hopping the mower trying to win, but
Yep.
he blew by me. And
Slow and steady wins the
so
race.
so the Lost 500, like how did you guys come up with the idea for a mower race? You're just like, let's
we're always looking for things to keep people occupied, especially in the wintertime. People
Sure.
get depressed and want to keep them busy. So me and Nick were sending mowers back and forth and talking about booze cruising and plowing the roads and neighborhoods. And I was like, well, what if we did like some off-road stuff? And then we came up, and then the Lost Trail is a local trail. It's a fairly moderate trail. A lot of people think it's a crazy hard crawling trail, but there's bypasses on every obstacle. I mean, you could take any stock four-wheel drive through there.
We took a RAV4 last
Okay.
time we went
We took a
through,
stock
so,
XJ with no
yeah.
sliders, and the stock tire side, what are they, like 25s, 26s, somewhere around there, like super
Pretty-
small tires.
Pretty mellow trail.
open
Yeah.
diffs. But we just wanted to prove a point, so we said, screw it, let's get some lawnmowers and let's do
yeah,
a race on the Lost Trail.
totally. That was
So-
awesome. It looked like a lot of fun.
It was.
And so how many guys did you have that started?
So me and Nick, and then we had Chad Lansing with Gambler 500, and then Chris is also
Yeah, Chris, He does gambler stuff too, and then
And then we had two other
there was
guys.
another 2 or 3 other mowers as well. One of them blew up on the starting line. One of them flipped pretty early on.
Flipped?
Yeah, he tipped it over. And then there was a couple trikes that we had playing around as well.
Yeah, we had
So-
Chad was on the trike, and then we had that sprayer come out too.
Oh yeah, there was a Toro spray rig. It was the coolest thing ever. It's
I
like
think the ground clearance was only like 5 inches on
Yeah,
it,
it
so
was-
I don't
that
think
thing
you
was
realized
slammed.
what kind of trail that was.
yeah.
We can get the mowers through it, but you do need a little bit of ground
You
clearance.
got a bit more approach angle on the mowers.
Yeah.
I think that thing was like a forward control where your feet hang in front of the front wheels.
Yeah.
I think he broke down pretty quick, unfortunately. But it was a cool rig. It had a ton of horsepower and a lot of gearing. So
Yeah, I was nervous. And then we had the 3-wheelers.
yeah.
Those had me nervous. Somehow the mowers won the race.
Yeah,
Or
that's
pulled
wild.
way ahead of the 3-wheelers.
That's wild.
So it was about like eight rigs out
Okay.
there,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty
Yeah.
big event. And then, hell, the whole valley came out there to come spectate. It was huge. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Lots-
awesome.
Lots of guys with their off-road rigs in the valley came out to watch it. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a
that's
lot of
awesome,
fun.
guys.
A lot of
So I know we might have irritated a little bit of the audience by calling it the Lost 500, but it was called the Lost 500 because it had to be under $500, had to be under 500 pounds, and that kind of landed you on either a 3-wheeler or a mower. So I think that was some fair grounds to set the rules
Yeah.
on. But next we have the United Rallycross, which Nick has been working with those guys, trying to set up something to do, some kind of event for the mowers.
Yeah, if you guys have seen them on Instagram or Facebook, United Rallycross, they're out in East Idaho in Blackfoot. They're starting a rallycross racing league, so they built a track out there. We reached out to them, and we were going to do a little bit of a mower race during their grand opening event there. So between some of the heats, we're going to do a race, and they're setting up a course for the mowers. And if anybody's interested, go to the Ultramo Facebook page, sign up. Should be a good time. Looking for more people. And
Oh yeah, you did start the Ultramo Instagram, huh?
yeah,
Tell them the rules.
yeah.
Give
so
'em
the-
rules,
So
like, so
we
they
opened
know
up
what
the
to go
rules a
off of.
little bit for the second race. Now that we kind of saw what to expect from the first one, the only rules are that it has to be a mower engine and transmission. Doesn't have to be from that mower, just from a mower, just so that we're not doing, ATV or dirt bike
Which is-
powertrains.
Technically, what is it called? A vertical engine?
Most of
Vertical
them are.
crankshaft?
Some of them are horizontal shafts
okay.
still, but yeah, we don't need any Raptor 700 swapped mowers banging gears and blowing our doors off.
Yeah.
So trying to keep it budget.
Yeah.
So
So if you guys
It'll
want
be
to come
fun.
out to that, it's July 19th.
July 19th, coming
From
up
3
Oh, so it's
p.m. to
coming in
sunset.
hot.
Oh yeah.
I got to get this
Yeah,
podcast
it's like-
on there.
it's 2 weeks out.
Yeah, he's still got to fix his mower. So
Yeah, my mower's still
it
broken
might, it
from
might
the
just be
race.
me out there going around in circles by myself.
Gonna be the champion again, I guess.
Oh man. So wheeling up here in Idaho. So you've got obviously a bunch of trees, forests to cruise around, and then you've got like out in like Hemingway area. There's some like rock crawling out there. But what's it like out here?
Yeah, so out in the Waihees, we get a little bit of the desert scene. We get some washes with some rock crawling in there, a little bit of whoop sections. The whoops aren't good enough, and the desert's not open enough to be running a pre-runner out there, not with any kind of horsepower. But other than out there in the Waihees where the rock crawling is, and we only have a handful of rock crawling trails, but there are some really fun ones out there. And other than that, we're, I think, close to 80% public land in Idaho.
Yeah, I think
So-
that's the big thing about out here in Idaho is it's like all public land. You can go out and enjoy it, camp off of it. I mean,
We are full, though.
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Oh,
we're
come
full.
on.
We're full.
You were just asking me when I'm moving.
No, you saw the traffic. We can't have any more traffic here.
Yeah. So I've been coming up here the past 4 years, and it's like insane the amount of growth
Oh, man.
everywhere. Just housing developments
It
going
is.
up everywhere, and just new Walmarts and Targets.
Walmart,
and,
shopping centers,
Yeah.
neighborhoods, like, it's just...
Oh yeah.
I feel like here it's like they put in the main streets, and it's like a 2-lane, 3-lane wide road, and then you'll come up like off a little side street and it's a stop sign, like you're never turning left. Like
No.
forget it. Like
Yeah.
you come at the wrong time, you're
Yeah.
staying there forever.
Yeah, so they've been upgrading everything to roundabouts, and they're putting
Yeah.
in stoplights, but then that closes, like, Nick Street out here is messed up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, who knows when my street's going to be like all opened up again. It's brutal.
Totally.
And they've done a terrible job, creating a temporary road, and so it's all whooped out.
Yeah, you need
It's-
an
it's
off-road
rough.
truck to deal with it.
It's got a drop off
was
on it.
right there. There's that drop off that's like a foot drop. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, if I send that in the Subaru, I'm gonna lose a control arm.
Yeah.
That's
why
why I
they-
sent the
yeah.
Celica off the side of that.
Yeah, I'm glad I stopped you that time. That would have been bad.
But going back to that, we have a lot of public land out here. So when I first moved up here, the off-road scene was pretty small. Wasn't a lot of people doing anything. It was either buggies out in the rocks or mall crawlers doing mall meetups in Boise. So then went out with a couple groups. I didn't really like how the scene was, so I thought I'd start my own group. At that time, it was Idaho Backcountry four-wheel drive, IDB four-wheel drive. And then we started to get pretty big, so I was like, well, let's drop the Idaho name and let's just stick with Backcountry four-wheel drive. But after everybody grasped onto that IDB four-wheel drive, it was hard to drop that Idaho part.
Yeah.
But there's just a ton of trails out here in the mountains and the backcountry. We also have the Frank Church Wilderness. If you don't know what that is, you should look it up. But remember, we are full, so you could visit. We'll take some of your money. Don't recommend living here.
But so and like up in the Sawtooths and like up near McCall, there's all kinds of stuff up
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
basically
there's trails all over. There's
find-
old mines. Me and Nick went and explored an old mine last year.
Yeah, there's some crazy old mines, and like even guys I work with that have been living here their entire life for 50, 60 years, and they go out exploring and hunting every weekend. Some of the places we go, I tell them about, and he's like, I had no idea that was even there.
Yeah, we found
So, I
that
mean, you
one
can-
mine, and somebody had bought it and closed off the gate that makes it super easy to get to. But they allow access through the backside, which is gnarly switchbacks off the top of this huge mountain. You drop
Yeah.
all the way down in there, and this mine is preserved. The hotels are preserved, the housing. There's some old cars down there. They're kind of buried in some dirt now, and got some carts,
Yeah.
That's super
tools.
cool.
There was workbenches.
Yeah,
out
there was
there.
all kinds of tools, and there was still welding rods on the
Yeah.
workbenches, and there was even still like a glowing green pool of contaminated water.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
drank some of
wild.
that.
yeah, right on.
Tastes pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like up in California, we've got there's tons of stuff. Out near like the closest spot to us would be like Cal City, Jawbone, and there's like there's some mines like you can go up Bickle Camp and Burrow Schmidt, where they've kind of like the BLM is kind of like marked it off and it's like pretty well preserved. But you go out to anything that's out in the middle of nowhere and it's pretty much pick clean. Like it's so hard to find
It is.
spots that are
Well-
like relatively untouched. And I feel like up here, because shit's so remote, it's just if you have the vehicle and the will to go check it out, like it's there.
It's there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't know how much longer it's going to be there. I mean, we really want to try and preserve it. So I know some people get irritated with us that we don't post the trails that we go on or send them the Onyx link, which I'll send you a Gaia link if you dump Onyx. But when we went out to King of the Hammers, Oleg and Justin from Kinetic X and Sandy Cats took us down Rattlesnake. Is it Pass or what's it called?
Rattlesnake Canyon?
Rattlesnake Canyon. And then he took us out to the Joshua trees and the cabins out there. And he was super excited to show us these cabins when we get there. And the places have just been completely vandalized.
That's what I'm talking about. It's all
He was like, this place used to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Bring my family here, hang
Yeah.
out, and now it's just trash.
yeah, all, like the windows that were up, they're all
Yeah.
broken. You're like, why? Why? I mean, I don't understand that destruction. But what was I gonna say? So you guys, King of the Hammers, you just brought that up. So you guys cruised down this year,
Yeah.
and hung out.
Yeah, I brought the 4Runner, and Nick rode shotgun, and then Cade with Rooster Fabrication, he tagged along with us. He brought his crawler down, his little 4Runner. We hit some trails and hung out with you guys.
That was a good time.
It was.
Yeah, I wasn't much of a host because I was a little sick. When
That's
you
all
got
right.
there, I'm like, all right, you guys found camp. I'm going to bed. You're like, what? But But yeah, that was good times out there. What was you've been there before though?
Yeah, I went there in, I think 2017. So it was a lot smaller at that time. It's crazy how much that place has blown up.
Yeah.
It's we'll see how it is this next year. Hopefully we can bring the crawlers down and really hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
I think
Totally.
we're gonna go crawling one night, and then Cade's 4Runner broke on the way across the desert. So then,
That's right. Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
what
you,
did we do?
blew
End
a
up-
belt or something?
He lost. I think he lose a pulley
I
or
think it was his power steering pump,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Kept eating
But-
belts. So then we just parked up and went the back door and watched some rigs go up that.
Try to go up that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't watch anybody actually go up back door. We watched a good number of
Watched a couple
people
flips. And
Yeah.
flip their stuff trying. It was pretty awesome.
It's
Yeah.
rowdy out there.
Yeah.
What was
cool.
your thought on it all? Just
I mean, it was my first time, and
And you do come from out east, right? Like,
yeah,
this is
so I'm
all
from
new.
Illinois, and it's pretty crazy going out there, and kind of a last minute decision to go. So Denniston let me ride shotgun, and it was obviously a great decision to go. Apparently, we had the best weather this year that has probably ever been had, from what I keep hearing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ground was wet and the dust was down. I mean, it started to pick up near the end, but
Yeah, it was really nice weather.
Yeah.
By any standard.
For sure.
So
For
it was
sure.
cool. It was a lot of fun.
we brought the canvas tent. We did it backcountry style. We brought the
Yeah.
canvas tent and
Brought
stove.
the
and
Kodiak.
yeah,
had a
none
little-
of this glamping like
Yeah.
me. I'm in the RV. I'm like, you
Yeah.
boys want to come in?
We
It's
did have a
windy out
fire
there.
pit though. We had a fireplace
Yeah.
inside
Yeah.
our cabin.
Yeah.
A little canvas
It was
tent.
cool.
Backcountry style for sure.
But, oh yeah.
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 We had to bring the Idaho boys down there for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tanner, you got to make it down this year. You got to fix that leaf spring, my guy.
That's the plan, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I actually bought that Samurai. I think it was last year, right after Hammers had ended. I had a Go Fast camper on my Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
We still do a bunch of camping trips and stuff, but and out here in Idaho, it's a lot more long distance, you know.
Sure.
So you're out there a few.
Yeah,
more
so the
days.
rooftop tent set up out here for us.
It's nice.
Like we're doing BDRs, which are backcountry discovery routes. They're these trails that go from one state to the next, all off road.
Oh yeah.
So Tanner was running his Go Fast camper, and
Yeah.
we're doing 1,500 miles in a weekend off road, like just flying. So
Yeah.
we would have to just stop, sleep in the driver's seat, and then take off the next morning trying to get these done. With these young guys trying to get time off of work, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
No,
hard
for
to get
sure.
out there and get these trails done.
So, how, like with the trips that you do, is it all just off of Instagram or Facebook, or so? Like if somebody's like, hey, I want to come out with you guys, like how do they get in touch?
Mostly Instagram. We do have a Facebook page. It's pretty slow. Us younger guys like to hang out on Instagram. We do
Yeah.
have a group chat. Group chat definitely gets rowdy. We're careful on who's in that group chat because it's a group chat full of men.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's some good life advice in that group chat.
That's debatable. I mean,
Some
Yeah,
not
very
so good.
debatable.
Some not so good.
some poor tax advice. What happened a couple weeks ago?
Or
I was
car
like,
advice.
yeah.
It's just it's
Yeah.
all bad lines. You know?
Yeah.
Bad lines get told.
Yeah, absolutely. But so
But Tanner's revamping his Tundra right now. He's kind of changing the whole setup.
yeah,
Getting her ready to do some more.
Yeah. So I got that Samurai because I sold the camper. We started doing a ton more like close stuff in the Oahes. That was great. So I kind of sold off that, bought the Samurai, and built it up. But building the Tundra out because we've kind of beat on them over the past few years.
sure.
All those BDR trips, I mean, you're putting down so many miles and your suspension cycles so much. Bushings just get cooked, man. So, yeah, kind of doing a little refresh.
So what's the plan? Are you gonna do like long travel or?
No, I'm not. I'm not that mate. I'm just the OEM
Okay,
refresh. You know.
got it.
So all OEM parts, pretty much. New steering rack bushings, but
You're not gonna do
Pretty
like
simple.
coilovers or anything, like replacement coilover?
no, I think I'll get there. I'm looking at some Bilstein 8112s, that whole kit for the Tundra, but I think right now I keep it pretty simple. I'm kind of moving it into a tow rig for
Yeah.
the Samurai, you
Sure.
know, because I definitely enjoy the crawling stuff a lot, man.
Yeah.
I grew up in Colorado with a bunch of guys, and like even kids in my high school, I had crawlers, so
Yeah.
you know, I definitely looked up to a lot of that stuff.
So Colorado originally is where you're from?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
just south of Denver, and like bunch of forerunners and stuff you'd
Yeah.
see. So
So that's what, like Colorado Springs area?
just south of Denver and like Highlands Ranch area.
Okay, got it. And what brought you out here?
Mostly, man, Colorado's just getting busy, especially the Denver area.
Sure.
It's so beautiful, the Rocky Mountains, but it's just out here in Idaho, it's a lot more free. Like we were talking about the public land
We're full.
earlier.
Yeah.
Like
We
we were
did it.
talking about the public land earlier. You can go out and within an hour you can find a camp spot that no one is near you, man.
Yeah.
Or,
It is
or
getting
go
a lot
find a
busier,
trail.
though.
You're right, it
It
is.
is.
But I mean,
But it's still,
there's so much of it.
compared to
Yeah.
You know?
Arizona or Colorado and California, it's
Yeah.
still a lot more chillax.
Yeah.
Interesting. But so, and how long have you been here?
I've been here probably, I want to say 5-ish years now.
Okay.
I moved out here for school
Got it.
originally, so yeah.
Right on. And then what about you, Nick? You said Illinois is where you're from.
Yeah, so I grew up in Illinois, went to school in Mississippi. I went to Ole Miss, hotty toddy. And then when I graduated, I found a job out here. I'd kind of been looking for places to move to out west, just kind of generic west. I didn't really know where. But I've heard Idaho was cool. I've seen everybody on Instagram saying, don't move to Idaho, don't move to Idaho, we're full. Like, they must have something cool going on. So anyways, I found a really good job out here and made the move. And it's been a little over 2 years now, and it's a great decision. So
Got it.
I
And
really
what
like
do you
it.
do for work?
I'm an engineer, so
Okay.
I'm a what they call a manufacturing engineer. So
Big technical guy.
kinda, yeah. I mean, I have a mechanical engineering degree, specialty in manufacturing, and I worked at Toyota for a while during college, kind of between years and on summers and whatnot. They've got a plant down there that I was doing some work at. So
Yeah, so when
Um,
things get technical, Nick's who we call.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
I
We gotta
try
know what kind of angles to put on pulleys.
yeah.
Nick's the guy.
If you need to design a complex block and tackle system, I got you.
All right, you're already way over my head with that one.
And Tanner, what do you do for work?
So currently I work for a job, or I work for Long Range America.
Okay.
So they do like extended gas tanks imported from Australia.
Okay.
And then we also do bumpers imported from Australia, and then flatbed trading canopies imported from South Africa.
So like off-road industry, we're talking.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool.
That's
Okay.
gonna
super
cost you
cool.
10
I
grand,
do a
Chris.
lot of the shipping for them. So.
Okay.
So yeah, super cool stuff. You know, if you get your tank from us, heck yeah.
Right on. And then this guy over here. So is Arizona, right?
No, so I really don't have a home. I grew up all over the East Coast. I was born in Rhode Island, lived in New York, spent some time in Tennessee, graduated high school in West Virginia. In West Virginia, there was a lot of mining. So coal mining, that kind of took a dive. 2010, 2013, took a huge dive. So my dad was looking for work. He went to North Dakota to the oil fields where a lot of people went. We were getting ready to move to North Dakota, and then he got a call to Arizona. So we ended up in Arizona. That's where I spent 8 years. I didn't want to raise a family down there. It's wild down there. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
It's hot.
It is. I miss the green, so me and my wife just packed up and moved to Idaho. But in West Virginia, me and my brother used to watch a Speed Channel and Fuel and Jackass, and just the good old boys. That was a good time to grow up
Yeah.
watching Jackass.
Yeah,
Fuel
CKY and
Metal Militia,
yeah.
and it was just a good time. And but we didn't have any of that stuff, so we're just like, we'd go on the dirt bikes in the garage and just pretend that we're hitting whoops and just having, I don't know, being kids.
Sure.
And then growing up, there was this mountain in front of me, and I just pictured myself taking my truck one day across the top of that mountain, be a ridge runner or something. So I got into off-roading there, but the only thing we had was gravel roads that went to somebody's house. We didn't have public lands. So moving out to Arizona, I was just blown away by the public land
Mhm.
concept. Like you can go share this land with anybody.
Sure.
But being from West Virginia and seeing the news and all the movies, we were pretty scared to go out in the desert. We definitely thought we were going to get shot by the cartel and find drug deals and stuff.
Yeah.
We were scared. But we got over that fear. I'm just out there mobbing a stock Ranger, beating the piss out of it. And then my buddy bought a Jeep, and I went out in that, and I was sold. So sold the Ranger, went and bought a Jeep, and that's where rock crawling started for me. I was down there in Arizona. We'd go out to Florence Junction, hit Box Canyon, Ajax, Highway to Hell, Woodpecker, all those trails, go up Crown King, hit all those obstacles there. And then Crown King kind of got me into exploring a little bit, because you do have rock crawling, but then you ended up in this little small mining town at the top. And then met my wife. She enjoyed off-roading with me, and then we had a baby. So then I was splitting time between home with the wife and baby and then rock crawling.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went and test drove a 4Runner, and I was sold on a 4Runner. They're pretty solid rigs, especially if you got kids.
Sure.
So ended up with the 4Runner.
The same 4Runner you have now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
So I've been wheeling that for years, and then found 4-wheel drive 24/7 and saw what they were doing to their stockish Toyotas, and that kind of got me into beating the 4Runner up.
Sure.
They,
Yeah, you can't save it for the next guy. I
No,
mean, come on.
no.
What are we doing here?
it's going to the junkyard when I'm done with it.
Yeah. No, as it should.
Yeah.
Although you can't kill him.
No, I've tried. It's got 180. I think I got 185,000 miles, somewhere around there.
It's just barely broken in.
Oh, I know.
It's ready
It's
to
got-
rip.
These guys are talking about replacing wheel bearings and shocks and
Hold
steering
up.
racks.
You just went through and rebuilt your stuff.
I didn't
like,
do a wheel bearing.
like just before the winter.
But yeah, I did revamp it last year, and then because we had a couple big BDRs coming up. So far, we've done the Idaho BDR, Oregon BDR, and Washington BDR.
Yep.
A little bit of the Nevada BDR. We need to get that one done.
Yep.
But so the BDR, is that in every state? There's trails, like a trail that kind of runs through?
Lots. There's lots.
A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of
Lots
them are starting to pop up.
East and west, actually.
And
Yeah.
it's
But it is a motorcycle trail.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna ask.
So putting the plug in for 4x4s, we're probably going to get in trouble with those guys.
Sure.
But we like to do it out of season, because
Yeah.
I don't want to come around a corner and meet a motorcycle. So we'll do it in like November or early before the snow melts, and we'll go bust the snow and cut all the trees for the motorcycle guys. We try to just stay out of their way, because I want to respect them for finding those trails for us.
Sure.
Yeah, it's lots of fun though. I mean, well, like he said, we wake up, we cook breakfast, and we're out. I mean, we're on dirt.
Like 14
All day.
hours a day.
Yeah.
Two
sometimes.
tracks. I
Yeah.
mean, it beats you up. It beats your car up, man.
Sure.
Like, it's a lot of fun though. It's different than like going to a trail, wheeling,
Yeah.
and then coming back to your parking lot, airing up, and going home.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, we stay aired down for 4 or 5 days.
And it's not overlanding. We're not out there
Overlanders.
leveling our tents.
That's what you do
flying
around
around.
here.
Allegedly not
We're
overlanding.
not skipping rocks and cuddling with each other.
You're
Like,
just-
it's
You're stocking
it's
up.
definitely overlanding.
all right. We like to call it adventuring.
Yeah. No, that's super cool. And so the next one's Nevada that you guys need to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, we need to knock out. So none of us have long travel. Nick,
I've got longer travel.
yeah,
Your
he's
travel. That's a good way
he's
to
got
put it.
extended travel, I guess. That's what you can
Longish,
call it.
Yeah.
But we need to get down there, go from Elko to Tonopah, get through the mountains, because the mountains in Nevada are huge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of snow down there, so I think, actually I was just down there last week, and the snow is still up on the mountains, so we might have another
Wow.
month or so before we can go
Wow.
down there.
Well, yeah, it sounds, I mean, what you guys are doing with that, it sounds very similar to what our group of buddies has been doing for the last, decade and a half with our DMC group, where it's like we'd map it out on Google and, do 150 miles, or, we did, the biggest trip we did was that Grand Canyon trip from Barstow to the Grand Canyon and back, all through
Okay.
the dirt.
That's rad.
Didn't you guys do one wearing suits and ties?
Yeah, we did the Mojave Road. That was for my bachelor party.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
badass.
we've
That's cool.
like for each of our bachelor parties, we've done different trips, but we've had like themed. We did. Mine was everyone had to wear a suit, and literally all you had for the whole weekend was a suit. Like you had board shorts and a suit, and if you took your suit off, if you weren't in the room or at the pool and you took your suit off, there was consequences. So like one dude comes out of the room without his suit on, and like we cut the sleeves off his jacket, so he no longer had sleeves.
So what month was this in?
This was in, I think it was in like May. So,
Oh man, so it had to be cooking.
Nah, it wasn't.
Really?
I mean, it wasn't. It was kind of hot, and I mean, like in the mouse, I don't have AC.
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
guys
just,
are
I'm like suit and tie, just cruising down Mojave Road. Like we took this photo on the lake bed on Mojave Road, and it's like we all like at the same time jumped, and so it looks like a Christian rock album cover. I'll post the photo up. But anyway, so we've done another buddies. We did mustaches and cowboy hats. Another buddies we did. Everyone had to wear a Hawaiian shirt.
Okay.
So it looked like a break room at like Trader Joe's. Like,
Yeah.
we did another one where you had to wear an Adidas tracksuit, and so we had like all different tracksuits. Like, I don't know why, but it's just kind of fun to do.
It is. I think
We've done a few
hung
themed
up-
runs,
We
for
did a
sure.
Hawaiian shirt run. I can't remember what the occasion was.
Well, we talked
but-
to Elliott, and he was telling us his story. So I was like, let's do a crawling trip where we can only wear Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
So we came out there. That was a good time.
That was fun.
Those are the
That was
best
fun.
nights, man.
Yeah.
Just a couple hours. We're just having a good old time out there in
For
the
sure.
rocks.
We've
For
done
sure.
wild hats too. We had a guy who had like a guacamole hat. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, we went,
Crazy.
and then we went and got sushi, and the sushi chef came out and dipped his chip in the guacamole.
No way.
Because
Nice.
he didn't believe that it was real.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, that's awesome. So, and as far as I mean, you're doing a bunch of other stuff other than the BDR stuff. So, like, if you just have destinations and you'll kind of do planned runs and
Yeah.
just invite the squad.
Yeah, so last year I was really pushing to get people onto BDRs and just help build the backcountry scene,
Mm-hmm.
get people out of the city and on just, backcountry stuff.
Yeah.
So we did most of the BDR as public runs. We would just do little stints of it over the weekends, and that turned out to be really good. I think at one time we had, like 30 rigs on the trail at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm leading. My radio cuts out, my Midland. I think I blew a fuse or something, but a motorcycle comes flying around the corner. I'm ahead of everybody, and I'm trying to let everybody know there's a motorcycle coming. Man, we got lucky on that one.
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah, I think the second person in line ended up calling that
it
one
was close.
So
Because it was a blind curve.
Midland, what is that? Is that like a CB?
GMRS radio.
Okay, got it.
Yep. UHF. Yeah.
So do you guys run GMRS, right?
We all run like race radio. So I don't
Okay,
know if
so
that's
I think
that's
those are
like a
VHF?
ham. Yeah.
They might be GMRS, but I think they are VHF.
Yeah, so
Yep.
we've all got like the modified hams or just race radios.
Oh
and then
man,
we
if you
run it
ran a
on-
race radio out here, you'd be called a poser so quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah. That's just Idaho.
I'm not
That's
worried
just-
about it, dude. Idaho's full for what I hear.
I couldn't imagine running a race radio out here and seeing one of the local guys see that thing in my truck. Oh man, I'd catch so much flack for that.
That's fine.
I'm sure some guys do out here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
You
side by
Matt-
side
Matt-
guys.
For sure.
Side by
Matt,
side guys.
right?
Yeah.
Matt is a side by side guy. Sorry, Matt.
No,
But-
Matt's a beauty, even though he's got those whoop scissors.
Oh well, he does have a trophy truck now, so that thing is
Does he really?
pretty sweet.
His
yeah.
Ranger?
Yeah.
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 And
It's
I think
legit.
That's what I call a trophy truck. I don't know what it is.
That's not a trophy truck, but it's rad for sure. He's saying there's all kinds of whoops out there, like next to the Snake and out in like Hemingway.
So to be on public land, you have to be registered. You got to have a driver's license. That truck is not registered.
Got it.
So he was out there testing, and he caught some flack from the BLM.
He can't register that thing up here?
He probably could,
Yeah.
but
Why doesn't he?
I don't know.
He should just do like the
Why
South,
don't you, Matt?
South Dakota. Matt, come on.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I want to ride in the trophy truck.
You haven't ridden it? Does he take it out? So he doesn't take it out often then? Cause
No, he brought it to. So we did have the off-road expo come to Boise,
Yeah.
and then we got a
That was
booth
fun.
with Sandy Cats and Kinetic X.
That was cool.
Set up Flash, which is my crawler. It's what everybody knows it as. I've set it up on a little flex ramp that me and Nick spent a night building. We used double penetration shop for that. Thank you, Tony. But we did bring, Matt brought his truck to the off-road expo. Off-road, right? He starts it up in the parking lot and revs it. Instantly got in trouble for that.
I don't even think you revved it. I think
it
you
was
just started
It
it.
was just warming up before, because it was at the end of the expo. He had it warming up before he loaded it on the trailer, and the security guy at Expo Idaho was like, "Get this noise pollution machine out of here."
shut that down.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
like,
it-
I'm like, dude, this
I
thing
think it
is
scared
cooler
the
than you will
4th
ever
Gen
have.
Idahoans pretty bad.
Yeah.
Those guys, they get scared a little bit.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was fun. It was fun.
Well, and then I remember, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, because I think I met you just off of Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
chatting back and forth, and I think I don't even know how it came across the Backcountry 4-wheel drive page, but maybe it was just because I was like coming up here and I was like trying to figure out
Maybe
somebody to wheel with or something. But
yeah, I'm not even sure. I don't even remember.
But you guys have also been doing like some trail work, right? I mean, I know you said you bring the saws with you when you go up and cut trees.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
on the BDRs.
Oh,
Usually the BDRs are technically open after July, so we'll go in June. And man, it is a workout. On one part of the BDR, we had to clear 7 miles of down trees,
Oh,
and
man.
tree after tree after tree. We were there for I think like 5 to 7 showers clearing trees. We get all the way to the end. There's this guy on a motorcycle, and he has this little tiny handsaw, and he's trying to cut this big tree. And I was like, man, you are lucky that we came through here. Let me cut this tree for you. So
Yeah.
we cut it, and he was super grateful that we'd cleared the trail for him.
Oh, totally. He was stoked.
So those guys appreciate us for that. I think they get a little pissy when it's in like August and you're coming through there 80 miles an hour and almost clip a motorcycle.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Definitely want to have a purpose on the BDR.
Yeah, no doubt. And so with the BDRs, like you just like after the Nevada one, is there any other ones after that you're trying to hit, like check
Yes,
off?
the Northern California BDR.
Okay.
I think
one
we should
looks-
go to Colorado too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do that, I guess.
Right on. All right.
No, yeah.
But they've got them. They've got them over like. in
yeah, they're
the
popping
East
up new
End.
ones every year.
You can start in like Florida and go all the way up to like I don't know if it's New York or all the way up north though. I mean,
Yeah, they are building East Coast. East Coast is hard with no public land.
yeah.
It's taking them some time to build that up.
Yeah.
But,
I don't even know what that'd be like with all the private land, like on
yeah, I
the East
couldn't,
Coast.
like growing up out
yeah.
west, like I couldn't imagine trying
Yeah.
to think about what it'd be like. Everything's blocked. Like even the Appalachian Trail, you hear people hiking that, and it goes across a couple public or private properties, and people just disappear on that trail.
Yeah,
It's just
that's wild. Well, then, so we didn't get to you work. So what do you do for work?
I'm a diesel mechanic for Caterpillar, but I do work in Nevada at the gold mines, working on 795s, which is a 1,000,000-pound truck when it's loaded. Our tires are 12 foot tall. Our struts are 4,000-ish pounds. Like it's
Oh my God,
a heavy truck.
And so they build those on site?
Yeah, they show up in a bunch of little pieces. These are old trucks. They were built back in 2013, so I'm not sure of the whole process.
And is
But,
shit just
yeah.
like breaking nonstop on
Oh,
those things?
yeah.
And you're just like, dude, how did you do that?
Yeah,
I
like
don't
they
know.
they're 4-linked. They do have a 4-link suspension on the rear, and when it's real rainy or like in the wintertime and it's muddy all the time, they'll start digging out huge ruts, and they'll just come through there fully loaded, flying, hit those ruts thinking they're a pre-runner or something,
Yeah.
blow those links out of the back.
Jeez.
So that's a big job, but yeah, it's a fun job down there.
Yeah.
You get to work 7 on, 7 off, which I never do. I'm usually working 6 and 1, and never home. And then I do come home, and I got so many projects, I'm just constantly busy. This year's been rough trying to get out and go off-roading.
Sure.
It's definitely put a hurting on the Instagram page.
Yeah. Well, everybody's rigs are broken. Mr. Leaf Spring over there.
Listen,
and
man, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
this guy's working on a solid axle project that he doesn't even have the
Yeah.
actual vehicle.
Got parts before the vehicle, so
Well, that's how you
That's
got to
all
do
right.
we'll
it.
get there eventually.
Yeah.
You know.
And you got lawnmower races and
Yeah, we got lawnmower
families
races.
and
Then I just picked up
Yeah.
that 76 Celica.
Yeah, that
GT
thing's sweet.
liftback. That thing is sweet.
Yeah.
Kind of acquired that, and
I've never even seen one of those before.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah.
Just
And so
it's just in my buddy's yard, and went and picked it up. He said it's been sitting there for 15 years, and threw a new carburetor on it. Took it out to go meet these guys at a car show. Hit 100 miles an hour. And I was like, all right, I think
you
it's pretty
actually?
solid. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
the old 100-mile-an-hour
GPS
tune-up.
Oh, yeah.
recorded.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
No, that's my break-in run. If it hits 100 miles an hour, it's good. So
Oh my gosh.
she was pretty solid. But I am
Yeah.
turning 30 in August, so I told my wife, I was like, we'll restore this, and we'll go on a little date weekend and
Yeah.
go somewhere. I was thinking about maybe going to the Ken Block Museum in LA, or going up to the P&W in Washington and go drive some mountain roads.
Yeah.
Haven't figured that out yet, what I want to do.
Well, so it wasn't Rallycross. What was the name of the
United?
United? So that's a separate that's not you guys.
No.
Okay.
No.
So are you guys trying to get into like the rally situation too?
We were, but that's originally the project car I wanted, and
That thing's
ended up
way
with the
too nice,
Celica.
dude. You can't.
No,
you
yeah.
can't.
Once I looked up how hard it is to get parts for that
Yeah.
car, I was like, I'm not gonna throw this thing in the dirt.
Yeah. So
But,
you guys are just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I want to build a Class 11, and I want to go to the United Rallycross. We'll see how it does. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how
Should be fun.
the races go, and
Yeah, they seem like cool guys. I mean, they're getting a lot of traction online, so
They
it
are.
should be a good turnout. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but get people out and see this part of the country. A
but I
little
mean,
bit.
rally racing has died in the U.S.
Yeah.
We want to bring it back. It
Yeah.
needs to be brought back. We
Yeah.
need to bring a lot of things back. Like, just sucks with insurance and the Tour de, what do they call it?
Tour de Force in
Yeah, the
that
Tour
was
de Force in Idaho.
Sun Valley. They shut that down now.
Because of insurance. And then we had a Red Bull, what do they call it? Rampage on the River, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was a whitewater competition up here on the Payette, and it's been closed down due to insurance issues. And
Wow.
Damn insurance.
yeah,
It's
well,
not
there
my
you
fault.
go.
Hey, no,
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not my
Start
department.
selling the Red Bull.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it seems like you just want to have like a Subaru for all the like a WRX rally car for up here on these fire roads.
You do, but also you don't want to be doing wheel bearings every weekend and head
Yeah.
gaskets every other weekend.
Yeah, there's
So
that.
you want to get a little more reliable rally car.
Sure. But then, so like you guys wheel pretty much year round, snow wheeling.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm seeing you guys
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. So the crawlers are for the rocks in the summertime, and then we take them in the snow in the wintertime. So there's no downtime. So we're always just trying to find time to fix them, and then sometimes I'll be fixing mine, and his will be running, and then mine will be running, and he'll be fixing his, and it's just.
They've only been on the trail together one time.
Really?
But
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had them for
Oh,
a year
yeah.
together. And it's
Yeah, we bought them, I think, like a week or two apart, and they've been both projects since.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's how it goes.
You know how it goes.
Yeah, but you just gotta plan a trip, and then you have a goal to work towards. I
Yeah.
think that's the answer. Because if it's like, yeah, I'll fix it when it's when I have time, you're never gonna have time.
Well, that's what I did to Flash. I put some 300M axle shafts in the front. I don't know if anybody saw my video, but I put a herd on it. I threw some 40s on it thinking it would last, and it did not last.
Yeah.
It lasted like an eighth of a trail and ripped itself apart. So then I brought it home, threw some 37s on it, and rebuilt mostly the whole truck.
We did that in like a night though too.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
invited these guys over for some free labor, and we knocked it out. There was a lot of work to do to that
Yeah.
truck.
And then the next day, I think that was the day we wheeled together.
Yep, the next day we
Yeah.
brought
Yeah.
Flash and the Sammy out together. You call
Yeah.
it Sammy John, right?
Yeah.
Sammy John, yeah.
Sammy
We
John.
did meat grinder after that, right?
Yeah, we did meat grinder. And
That's
then
like the
There's the name
gnarly
of the
trail
trail.
out here, right? Meat
it's,
grinder.
it's like the in between.
Okay.
Then we have Lone. We have another trail. I'm not allowed to say it. I'll
Yeah.
get my head ripped off by Ricky. Who's Ricky?
Who's Ricky?
Ricky?
Where does Ricky
Who
live?
is Ricky? From how you describe Rubicon is kind of how I imagine Meat Grinder being.
Okay.
I mean, it's rough, but
The good thing about Meat Grinder, though, it is a tough trail. There's some waterfalls in there and some rock gardens. But there's a road that parallels that whole wash the entire way. And then there's chutes where you can pull up to the waterfall and you don't want to do it. You just go up the chute and then drop back down after the waterfall.
Got it.
So it's good to go out there. So you could start out on Lost where there's bypasses for everything. And then Meat Grinder has the same thing, but there's a lot harder obstacles to do. So you can kind of
Sure.
work your way up. And then you end up in some of these other trails where you're stuck in there. You're going to
Oh, yeah.
finish this trail or get drug out.
Yeah.
That's what we ended up having to do with Flash. Is we went out there and drug this truck all the way off the trail. And that was
Well, that was
interesting.
when you broke the U bolts, right? Is that
Yeah,
that?
the U-bolt delete kit deleted itself.
Yeah.
So,
that'll happen.
So
You think it was just the 40s, just couldn't handle the gnar?
I think it was a mix of that.
you were driving it rough that day.
And the lack of maintenance. I didn't go through and check torque on those bolts, which definitely should have. And they had
For a mechanic, you'd think you,
no.
you just run it.
Oh yeah.
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 It's good until it's not, right?
It's good until it's not.
He
and
does,
we'll
he does
figure it
enough
out.
wrenching for his job. The weekends for
Yeah.
having fun. So.
Yeah. I will say the 4Runner has always gotten home.
Okay.
I've broken a lot of shit on that thing, but it always gets home.
Yeah.
But Flash, he spent the night a couple times out in the desert.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But on that trail, we were out there with the OG Idaho guys in their buggies, and I thought I could keep up. Well, first obstacle I hit, rip a brake line apart. So I had no brakes the rest of the trail. Pull up on the next obstacle, which is the gatekeeper, which is gnarly. You go up on one side and you got about a 6-foot drop. And then you got to climb up a 6-foot rock with your driver's side tire. Then your passenger drops down. And then you just kind of like teeter-totter back and forth. Well, I had no brakes. So I would get up on one obstacle and I couldn't stop and reposition myself. So I just had to freaking send it in this little truck on 40s, man. And broke an axle shaft. Got drug up out of there. It wanted to flip back. Got it on the ground. Got it on flat ground. We pulled all that apart. Running on 3 axle shafts. Got halfway through the trail. Bound up the side that we broke the axle shaft on. That bound up the rear axle, and it just snapped those U-bolt delete kit right off there and lost my rear axle on the trail.
Pulled it right off.
Nice things. And then you had your was it the Magic Creeper?
Yeah, we had the Magic Creeper. I'm sure if you've seen a Magic Creeper commercial,
Yeah.
I have been in that commercial.
100%. Just
He's
sliding
the
under
Magic
there.
Creeper guy.
Oh,
Those
gosh.
things actually look pretty legit. It looks
I wish
cool.
I had it with me. That
You
thing
can just try it out right here.
surprised
the
me. The
live
first
view.
time we used it, I broke on a rock. Man, I have broken flash every time I take it out. Now it's pretty solid, but
Sounds like a you problem.
yeah. But I fixed it now, so we should be golden.
Yeah.
But I lay this Magic Creeper out. I go to lay on it, and I slide off the rocks.
Oh shit.
So I had to
She's
learn how
slippery.
to use the Magic Creeper, and
They like pledge it up, or how's it get so
it's like on
slick?
the outside's like quilted, but on the inside is the silk, and the silk on top of each other just slide.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good. I'm shocked they haven't taken off yet. Maybe my commercials suck. I don't know.
Maybe after this podcast, they're gonna blow up.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not, but
They've been hitting me up to do another commercial. I've just been too busy, and then I have same with Born Off Road. They sent me a winch, and I've been testing that thing out, and it's been a good winch, but I just haven't had the time to.
yeah.
Usually when we go out, it's spur of the moment, and we're just trying to get this trail done. So it takes a lot of time to get trail content.
Oh yeah, totally. And so I mean, with the backcountry, it's just you're just trying to kind of build the community, and it sounds like it just kind of started out with just like wheeling buddies,
Yeah.
guys you want to hang out with. You didn't like the other communities that you saw when you first got here. And
So
you're
they
like,
would
"I'm
always
gonna
just
make my
put
own."
on some requirements that were just uncalled for. Like Lost Trail we did in lawnmowers, they want you to have 35-inch tires and lockers, or they're going to tell you can't come with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw that. You can bring a Geo Metro out. Let's go party. Let's go have a good time.
Well, and
And,
I mean, it's tough though, because it's like you have, these groups, and if you have 15 rigs and one of the rigs is not equipped, it's going to be a long ass day. So
We're pretty
It
good at
happens.
getting some trail
You know,
fixes done.
It happens. It
Yeah.
does.
yeah,
I mean, but we're all about. I think we like having like the guys who maybe feel like they don't have anyone else that they can go out with. They can come out with us and
Mhm.
have a good time.
Yeah.
They can really like test their rig if they feel like
Yeah.
they're up to it.
We really want to cater to the new guys who are scared to death to break anything and show them that
yeah,
we can get it fixed, man.
totally.
Like
Yeah,
it's going to be, you're going to be all right.
Yeah,
But also, with that being said, we don't wheel on Sundays anymore because we have had to miss work on some trails.
Yeah.
well, yeah, and so Cade with his Tacoma. Let's talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He's not here.
Lost Tacoma.
But so what happened with that?
Thank you for your service, Cade. He's
Yeah.
deployed right now.
Yeah,
I'm sure he would love to be here.
Thank you, Kate.
you can
But,
listen in.
But I wasn't there that night. I was working, and I get the call at like 1 o'clock in the morning at
Were you
work
there?
in Nevada, and I'm like, "What is going on? Why are you guys calling me?" And they're like, do you have anybody's phone number? You can get some more bodies out here because we got to clean up a mess." And I guess these guys were on a trail one night, and he
He was.
Yeah.
didn't. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, so we were out doing a local trail. Finished up the trail and we were heading back out, and it's kind of a shelf road on some windy mountains. And it was kind of late at night, we got running the lights to see where we're going, but there's just a blind corner, and the corner tightened as you came around. There was a rock wall where you can't see around the corner, and it tightened after that. And he was just going too fast and misjudged the corner. It could happen to anybody, and dipped a tire off, and it took the truck over, and he ended up at the bottom of the hill there. So they were okay, no injuries or anything, but
Luckily, they were
truck was
wearing
toast.
their seatbelts.
Yeah, thankfully wearing seatbelts and everything.
We've had a couple rollovers, and the seatbelts have saved people.
Yeah.
I get it, you're off-road, you think you don't have to have a seatbelt on, but freaking wear the seatbelt.
You would just
Yeah.
wear it.
Always wear the seatbelt, 100%.
Always.
100%.
So,
Like
yeah,
a-
I mean, that was a tough night for him, and got his truck winched up.
Yeah, he just got
off
that
the
truck
hill.
all done and dialed in
Yeah.
exactly how he wanted it. And
It was sweet, man. It was sweet. But anyways, yeah, he was all good. But rest in peace to the Rooster Fab Tacoma.
yeah, he did.
But his
part
new
it out.
4Runner is sweet as well.
So Beck did get a suspension, so his truck kind of lives on a
It
little
lives
bit.
on. Yeah, it got
And-
parted out to guys in the group.
Yeah.
So it lives on in pieces. So
The standard, like, hey, bro, is that are those methods still good? Like, they're like, dude,
yeah,
I-
it didn't
Oh,
take
yeah.
It's
long
not even
before
off the
that
trailer.
I'm pretty
conversation
sure as
started.
soon as I saw the pictures, I said, "Hey, you parting that out?"
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even off the trail yet before that discussion
yeah.
started.
What's
So-
crazy though, you guys got to go see some pictures of this truck.
Yeah, I'll
It
post them.
drove
We'll get
off
them.
the trail.
Yeah, we
They
drove
drove
it.
it
I mean,
down.
it went down to the bottom.
It's a
of the
Toyota.
hill.
How many times
Yeah.
did he roll it?
He said probably 3 times or
So
something.
we had that
but-
happening before that with Andrew. We were on another shelf road one night, late at night, and there was this bush that overhung the trail, and then there was what looked like grass on the left side. So Andrew didn't want to hit the bush. He was going to go around the bush in the grass, but what he didn't know was that grass was actually a cliffside.
Oh.
So he went off into the grass, rolled off the mountain. All I hear is trees crumbling down or crashing below me, and I hear Curtis come over the radio and just scream no, and my heart dropped. I threw the 4Runner and parked, went running as fast as I could, and I had a handheld, and I hear Andrew say, "I'm good," and then he got out of the truck and was pretty upset. He said a couple words that we won't repeat here, and ran down there, and yeah, he went right off a shelf road too, and
Dude.
luckily he was wearing a seatbelt. I took a picture. He has the axe laying in the floorboard, right where his feet were, so he got lucky there.
Yeah.
But
That's always the thing with, like, you don't, especially in an SUV, you got to tie everything down. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, no one plans on rolling, but
especially with kids, man. You want to
Yeah.
get you a canine cage or something in there. Just securement is important.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, I mean, this little Howl, I had that chilling in the back of the Subaru, and I'm like, dude, if we got hit
Oh,
from
yeah.
behind, like, that thing's, I mean, it's not heavy, but that'd waste you if it hit you in the head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you say you were going 40 miles an hour and came to a dead stop, and that thing flew at you at 40 miles an
Yeah.
Here
hour,
he comes
I
with his
mean,
engineering stuff again.
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be a bad day.
For sure, for sure. But
It
right
would,
on,
but
so,
We also just had that happen to Hayden too, right?
oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what happened.
I
The
don't
full
either.
details haven't come out yet, but
Yeah, we posted that.
Glad
up,
to see you all right, Hayden.
yesterday. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
they were on like a fire road. I don't know if he was going fast or if it was like on an obstacle. But yeah, they rolled that thing a couple times, and he has the hoop in the back, but
Yeah.
nothing in the cab. And it's like, if you're wheeling hard, or I mean, obviously it's like budget, whatever. You're trying to keep it daily driver friendly, but it just shit happens.
Yeah.
Cage
Yeah.
is a good idea if you can make it happen. But that dude, that guy's something else. Just that truck is like a full golf ball. Just
did you see what he's bringing to Rubicon?
yeah.
That's going to be sweet. He's
Yeah.
going to hurt some feelings in that
Oh
little
yeah,
pickup.
100%. He was already in Moab, and they went all through like all the hard trails.
Yeah, he's got
did
the
it
twin
that.
stick in
Yeah.
there. I believe it has IFS, right? The
Mhm.
stock
Yeah.
IFS link.
It's
Like,
badass.
It's got like
So
you
cool.
know that much clearance,
oh,
like 6
yeah.
inches.
He's
of
hurting
clearance.
feelings with that
Oh,
truck
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna outwheel me.
I can't wait to see the footage from that thing wheeling to Rubicon.
Dude, that guy is just like full driver mod. We're on
Oh, yeah,
resolution, and I'm
100%.
right behind him, and I'm just like diffing out. I'm like, dude, and he just takes off. I'm like, what the? And his truck's so low.
So low, and yeah, it's just.
That guy's good at wheeling. But even somebody that's good at wheeling,
I think
the
it's his
talent-
Yokohamas.
Yeah, no, those tires are sweet.
They are.
Yeah, and he
He's
did
got-
like
he cut
custom
'em, didn't he?
siphoning,
Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, super cool.
But yeah, like you were just about to say, even the most experienced people
Yeah.
crash. You got to just wear the freaking seatbelt.
Yep.
I can't
Get a cage.
stress that enough.
Yeah, get a cage.
Get
I
a
mean,
cage.
Get a cage, wear a seatbelt, secure your stuff.
who doesn't
Be
wear a
responsible.
seatbelt? Like,
I
Crazy people.
was not wearing a seatbelt when Andrew went off the mountain, and after that day, I always wear my seatbelt
You
off
wear a
first
seat- it's-
because I always thought I could open the door and jump out.
Okay,
Well,
dude.
I saw how fast he went off the mountain. That's not happening.
no. No, and it's like the same. Like
Oh my
out here in
gosh.
Idaho, you don't have to
And
wear a
reaction
helmet on a motorcycle.
Correct.
And I mean bikes either. And it's like every time I've crashed on a mountain bike, I never
you
thought
just bury your
I
head in
never
the
thought I
ground.
was gonna crash.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's like just wear a freaking helmet. That
Yeah.
saves your life. I mean, you don't you only get one
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we required helmets for our lawnmower race,
yes.
and it's
Yeah.
a good thing we did because I looped it right onto myself. So
In this,
Scared.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and still won.
and still won.
Well, I was behind him right when he looped it, and I was like, do I win the race or do I help Nick? So then I just tried to win the race, and he still passed me.
That's karma
So
right
that's
there.
karma, bud.
It was. But we had Randy and AJ behind us. They got you flipped back over.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
on your feet, or on your tires, I guess.
It was all right.
But yeah, and so you guys obviously off-roading, fishing.
Fishing.
You do
I
any
some-
hunting?
Do some fly fishing. The hunting out here, yes.
Okay.
But like I said, I started this job down there in the mines, and man, my time is just taken up.
Sure.
I come home, I wrench, and then I go wheeling, and then I broke something, so I got to wrench next time I come back.
Yeah.
So
It's just the problem of you have all these cool hobbies, but there's not enough time to do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Kind of like you were talking about earlier, there's lots of mountain biking out here.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the guys in our group are into mountain biking
Okay.
too. So
You guys should do some mountain. You got to get it used to ride, right?
I did, and the kids are starting to get bikes now.
Yeah.
So I've been looking for a dirt jumper. They built a little pump track near the house. So I want to get me a dirt jumper and take the kids out there.
Yeah.
Garbage man's running today. I bet
Yeah.
he is hung over.
Yeah, I guess they took the holiday off yesterday. I don't know. I'll have to complain to my HOA.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to get back into mountain biking. I was into dirt biking. The dirt biking out here in Idaho is crazy too. The single track trails.
Yeah, I bet.
All over the place. You can even take the dirt bikes on the hiking trails here.
most of them.
Most of them, especially just right here in Boise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love. We should do some kind of mountain biking thing. I think Nick has one.
I've got a little just kind of dirt cruiser. I used to race BMX for a little while, but a lot of the guys in the group that are into the mountain biking thing, a lot of them get hurt.
Yeah.
So,
No, that kind
I
of
don't
goes
know.
hand
Oh
in hand.
man,
It
yeah.
happens, yeah.
That's the engineer in you, bud. You got to just
I'm evaluating the risk.
Uh,
Yeah, but it'd be fun to go play around sometime.
It would. I think we're all kind of in the same thing. Like we just like motorsports and just outdoor sports in
Yeah,
general.
if it
We like
involves
biking.
tires and outside, I'm down.
no,
Yeah.
and that's like exactly what the whole Badline's saying. It's like it's not just off road; it's biking, dirt biking.
Yeah.
You know, basically anything you could hurt yourself in.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. Like,
Yeah.
because you know if you
Or it
can't,
costs a lot of money, you know. It's
yeah,
like-
yeah, that's cool.
Brutal.
But yeah, so basically, if you're looking to do some wheeling in the Pacific Northwest Idaho area,
Don't call us the PNW.
you not PNW?
People get mad at us for that.
We
People get
are,
mad.
but we're not.
People get mad. Yeah.
Some
Okay.
people say we don't touch the Pacific, but we do have a seaport in Lewiston.
It's a good point.
So
There's a
technically,
port.
I mean, when I came up here, I guess I crossed into Oregon, and it's like the gate. I think it was in McDermott. It's like the gateway to the Pacific Northwest. There's a sign, but I guess
Okay.
that's not Idaho. So
no.
I'm kinda
And then you
feeling-
come a little east, so
Okay, so if you're in Idaho or the
if you're
surrounding
just
states,
within like 500 miles of us, we might come wheel with you.
Yeah.
Or you can come wheel with us.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well,
So,
we're all over
anyways,
the place.
so Instagram, Facebook, anywhere else? You guys got a website?
The website's idled right now.
Okay.
Just with how busy I am, I just can't keep up. So it's just Backcountry's been taking a little bit of a back seat. I'm hoping next year we can hit it, or this winter. Last winter we were supposed to do a bunch of snow wheeling, and the snow just never came.
Okay. But
I think you were out in Elko because it was here. I went
Yeah.
snowmobiling with Daniel.
Yeah, every
a few
time I go
times.
to work, a blizzard would hit.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, anyway, so hit these dudes up. And yeah, thanks dudes for
Yeah.
the podcast. It was cool.
Heck yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Super
coming
rad.
and hanging out and having us on, dude.
Absolutely, guys. All
Thanks
right.
for sponsoring the
Yes.
Lost 500.
Oh
by
yeah,
the way.
yeah, yeah.
Love that.
And thank you, Nick, for hosting us in your beautiful garage here.
Absolutely. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Well, cheers, boys.